Welcome back and good morning, Central Oregon. Dana Jones is back from frugalfrontier.com. Good morning.
Good morning.
You built a $67 greenhouse.
I did build a $67 greenhouse.
So first of all, why did you want to do the greenhouse?
I wanted to build a greenhouse for a lot of reasons. First of all, the growing season here in Central Oregon is so short. So it's really difficult. Last year I actually ripened all of my tomatoes in my garage under newspaper, and they didn't taste as good. Secondly, my husband and I have been collecting antique windows for years. We've been huge garage sailors for years. And we used a ton of them in our house as decoration, but we had a bunch left over. And so I had seen like on Pinterest and online these ideas about using your old windows to make a greenhouse, and I wanted to try it out.
And so what was reclaimed and what was new? You mentioned the old windows.
So the old windows were reclaimed, and all of the hinges and everything were either reclaimed from the actual windows or we bought them at resale shops. So there was, we have one part of our greenhouse, it actually props up our roof, and are these old brass hinges that we had from one of our windows, and that's probably my most favorite part. I love that part.
It adds character.
It does, a ton of character.
So how did you build it? Did you have a plan?
Kind of. The plan was in my head. I did not draw it out, and the reason why I didn't draw it out is because when it comes to using old windows, you really have to build your greenhouse around the windows. You can't build a frame and then stick your windows into place. So we literally built the frame around our windows and just made sure that all the heights matched and that the walls were the same on either side, and then we pieced it all together and put the roof on the top and built shelves inside.
And so the purpose of your greenhouse, what's your goal for the greenhouse?
My goal for the greenhouse is to get all the things started by seed and then get them planted in the ground. And then once I plant those in the ground, then start another round of seeds in the greenhouse to have a fall crop as well.
Nice. And so what are you growing?
Oh, I'm growing lots of things. Here's a little bit of an example of things that I'm growing in the greenhouse. These are pumpkins. These are green beans. I might have started those a little early, but it's just fun to experiment. We have broccoli and tomatoes and peppers. I have cucumbers. Sweet peas, they can actually be planted in the ground right now, but we're doing sweet peas as well, and a bunch of herbs and things.
Okay, and so your favorite part of the greenhouse is what?
I saw on Pinterest this really cool idea to use gutters as part of your greenhouse. It's really cool, really hip right now. So I found a bunch of gutters. We had a couple, and then I actually went to the Habitat Restore in Redmond and got a couple more gutters. We put them on the front part of our greenhouse where there's the most sun exposure, and I'm growing really short Parisian carrots in them, as well as lettuce greens that have really shallow roots. I love this part of my greenhouse. It's new. It's actually on the outside, but it's a really cute addition, and it's really fun to see everything growing.
That's an idea that's on fire. I see that everywhere now, and it's one of those things you look at and you're like, of course, that makes so much sense. And to be able to use some from the Restore, or maybe you have some that are old, you can recycle them and actually get something cool out of them.
And it's really big right now with like urban gardeners that maybe have just a patio to garden on. They don't have a whole lot of space or any ground at all. They have pavement, so they can either get pots and plant in them, or they could do the gutters and go vertical, and you're able to maximize your growing space without using a lot of ground space.
So you talk a lot about frugal lifestyle. How is having a greenhouse part of your frugal lifestyle?
Well, I would say that on any given week, whether it's summer or winter, I'm spending at least $40 a week on produce. And if I can grow these things in my garden by buying like a pack of seeds, like this was $3, I'll probably be able to get about $50 to $60 worth of fresh green beans from this one package of seeds. So if I can grow that in my garden instead, I'll be spending less than half of what I spend regularly on fruits and vegetables at the store.
It makes so much sense because you can spend a fortune on that stuff.
Absolutely, especially organic things. So if you're not using chemicals and Miracle-Gro and everything to grow your produce, it is organic. You know exactly what went into it, and you don't have to pay for it.
And you make your garden last all year long.
Yes, so I can actually grow things in the greenhouse year long, especially if I add a heat lamp to that or a heater at all. I also have a cold frame where I'm able to extend my growing season by about 6 months, or well, a total of 6 months. And I can do lettuce in there that's ready in April, and it'll go all the way through like November.
And you can.
I do. So these are some green beans from my garden last year, and I'm still eating them from last year. You know, they're not fresh, but they are a good staple for our family, and I grew them, and I'm very proud. Every time I open up a can of green beans, I'm very proud.
You did this!
I did that!
Congratulations! Well, and for people who don't know how to can, the OSU Extension Service has very reasonable, like $15 classes on canning, drying, freezing, all of that stuff. So you might go to check out that website as well and see how you can make your produce and things last as well. But Dana's website is www.frugalfrontier.com. You can also follow her on Facebook. So it was nice to see you.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We'll be right back.